He was massive, Sandra Locke confesses everything in her memoir. Sandra Locke was born Sandra Louise Smith on May 28, 1944 in Shelbyville, Tennessee. Locke grew up in a modest Southern family. From a young age, she demonstrated a natural talent for creativity and performance. Her early years in Tennessee, though often challenging, instilled in her a sense of resilience and independence that would later define her career and personality in Hollywood. Locke's entry into the film industry was both bold and fateful. In 1967, she won a nationwide talent search for the role of Mick Kelly in the film adaptation of Carson McCullers' classic novel, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter. This breakout role immediately put her on the map, earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress as well as a Golden Globe nomination. Critics praised her natural and emotionally raw performance, noting Thatch captured the sensitivity and complexity of a young girl yearning for love and belonging. At just 23 years old, Locke seemed destined for a long and celebrated career in film. Through the 1,970 seconds and 1,980 seconds, Locke became widely recognized not only for her own acting talent, but also for her professional and personal association with actor-director Clint Eastwood. The two met in 1975 while working together on Theat La Josie, Wales, and soon began a relationship that lasted over a decade. During this period, Locke appeared in several Eastwood films, including The Gauntlet, 1977, Every Which Way But Loose, 1978, Any Which Way You Can, 1980, and Sudden Impact, 1983. These roles allowed her to showcase her versatility, playing everything from strong-willed heroines to vulnerable women caught in extraordinary risk. While some critics felt her identity as an actress was overshadowed by her partnership with Eastwood, Locke's performance brought nuance and depth to each role, ensuring she remained a memorable presence on screen. However, Locke's life behind the camera was far more complex than her glamorous Hollywood image suggested. Her relationship with Eastwood, for long listing, was fraught with difficulties. When the relationship ended in the late 1980s, Locke faced tremendous personal and professional obstacles. She revealed in her memoir, The Good, the Bad, and the Very Ugly, 1997, that she endured emotional hardships and career sabotage, painting a stark picture of the challenges women faced in Hollywood during that era. Despite the adversity, Locke showed remarkable courage by standing up for herself. Filing lawsuits brought attention to issues of gender discrimination, abuse of power, and the struggle of women to assert their independence in a male-dominated industry. In addition to acting, Locke also pursued directing, proving that her talents extended far beyond the screen. She directed films such as Rat Boy, 1986, which received critical attention for its originality, and Impulse, 1990, a crime thriller starring Teresa Russell. Though her directing career was limited, Locke's efforts were significant. She was one of the relatively few women in Hollywood at that time to step behind the camera, paving the way for future female directors. Her work demonstrated her determination to tell stories from her own perspective and to challenge the conventions of mainstream film. Locke's life was also marked by health struggles. She battled breast cancer in 1990 seconds and later endured a recurrence of the disease. These challenges, however, did not diminish her spirit. She remained an intelligent, articulate, and strong-willed individual until her final years. Friends described her as witty, deeply thoughtful, and unafraid to speak her mind, qualities that Mata both admired and respected by those who knew her personally. On September 25, 1967, Sandra Locke married sculptor Gordon Lee Anderson in a ceremony held at the historic First Presbyterian Church in Nashville, Tennessee, a location known for its beautiful architecture and intimate atmosphere which added a sense of timeless elegance to their union. The ceremony was officiated by Dr. Walter O'Courtney, whose presence lent a formal and dignified tone to the proceedings, emphasizing the seriousness and deep personal significance of the marriage. Notably, this wedding took place just 1 week after Locke had begun principal photography on her breakthrough film, The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, marking a moment in her life where personal milestones and professional breakthroughs converged in a remarkable way. The marriage between Locke and Anderson would endure for more than half a century, lasting an extraordinary 51 years until her death in 2018, a testament to their unwavering commitment, mutual respect, and deep emotional bond in an industry where long-lasting Marriages are notoriously rare. Locke's relationship with Anderson, however, had begun long before their wedding day. She had known him since at least the late 1950s, a connection that reportedly developed over several years, during which they formed a deep friendship that gradually evolved into a romantic partnership. Sources differ on exactly when they first met, with accounts varying by as much as 4 years, underscoring how early in her life Locke had been surrounded by supportive and creatively minded people who would help shape her path. In 1968, following her rising fame and the deluge of script offers that arrived amid Oscars for her performance in The Heart is a Lonely Hunter, Locke and Anderson made a pivotal decision to leave Tennessee, seeking both professional opportunity and a new chapter in their personal lives. They moved into a stylish condominium at the Andalusia in West Hollywood, an area renowned for attracting artists, actors, and other creatives. This move not only placed Locke at the heart of the entertainment industry, but also offered the couple a modern urban lifestyle where Anderson could continue his work as a sculptor while Locke pursued her burgeoning film career. Their life together in West Hollywood became a blend of personal intimacy and professional ambition, allowing both to flourish creatively while remaining deeply connected as partners. Clint Eastwood, the legendary actor and director known for his stoic demeanor and iconic roles in westerns and action films, is a figure who loomed large not only on the silver screen but also in the personal life of Sandra Locke. In her memoir, Locke does not shy away from offering readers a deeply personal glimpse into her decades-long relationship with Eastwood, revealing layers of both admiration and pain. Her words, carefully punctuated with honesty, serve as both testimony and revelation, inviting readers into the intimate world behind Hollywood's glamorous facade. Locke's description of Eastwood immediately sets a tone of unweighted immensity. He was massive, she writes, a statement that transcends the literal sense of his physical stature. In her memoir, Locke elaborates on how Eastwood's presence dominated a room, his personality as commanding and imposing as his frame. She recalls sitting across from him during the early days of their connection, feeling a mixture of excitement and intimidation. His charisma, she notes, was irresistible, drawing people in, commanding attention, and creating an aura that few could resist. It wasn't just his height or the way he carried himself, she admits. It was something deeper, a force that seemed to bend the very air around him. You knew he was in charge, whether you wanted to be or not. Locke's observations give readers a visceral sense of what it was like to be in the orbit of someone whose influence seemed to stretch far beyond ordinary measures. Yet her memoir does not merely dwell on the spectacle of Eastwood's larger than life persona. Locke also shares the more intimate human sides of him, providing a rare glimpse into his private world, a world that often conflicted with his public image. She describes moments of tenderness, vulnerability, and even humor, which contrasted sharply with his rugged, stoic exterior seen in films like Dirty Harry and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He could be unexpectedly gentle, lachricals, a side of him that seemed almost secret, reserved only for those closest to him. But those moments were fleeting, like glimpses of sunlight through a storm, brief and beautiful. This balance of power and vulnerability, Locke suggests, is what made Eastwood simultaneously fascinating and frustrating, inspiring both love and conflict in their long-term relationship. Locke's memoir also addresses the complexities and struggles of being involved with a man of Eastwood's caliber. She reflects candidly on the ways his fame, ego, and demanding schedule affected their partnership. Being with Clint was like holding lightning in your hands. She writes, there was energy, brilliance, and danger all at once. You never knew when you'd be uplifted or knocked off your feet. Through these reflections, Locke conveys not only the exhilaration, but also the challenges of intimacy with someone whose life seemed perpetual under the microscope. She shares the emotional turbulence, the misunderstandings, and the moments of deep connection, painting a picture that is at once romantic, complicated, and painfully honest. Throughout her memoir, Locke demonstrates a remarkable ability to examine her own feelings and responses, providing a nuanced portrayal of a relationship that was anything but simple. Her reflections on Eastwood are interspersed with self-awareness as she acknowledges her own role in the dynamic. I was drawn to him, yes, but he also knew I was stepping into a world where I might be overshadowed, where my own voice could be lost. She confesses, this candidness allows readers to understand the psychological and emotional layers at play, creating a portrait of a love that was as intense as it was complicated. Sandra Locke's Memoir is a testament to both the allure and the challenges of being with a man as colossal figuratively and literally as Clint Eastwood. Her words capture the magnetism, the power, the beauty, and the turbulence of their relationship, giving readers an unvarnished look at realities behind Hollywood legend through passages like "He was massive." Locke distills not just the enormity of Eastwood's presence, but also the profound impact he had on her life. An impact that would shape her personally, professionally, and emotionally for years to come. Her memoir is in every sense a bold, revealing, and unforgettable exploration of love, fame, and the complexities of living alongside one of cinema's most iconic figures. Sandra Locke passed away at the age of 74 on November 3, 2018, at her home in Los Angeles, California, a city where she had spent much of her adult life cultivating her career and personal endeavors. Her death was attributed to cardiac arrest, which medical reports indicated was related to complications from breast and bone cancer, illness she had battled privately for some time. Locke's passing marked the end of a remarkable life that had been both publicly celebrated and intensely scrutinized, particularly due to her high-profile career in Hollywood and her deeply personal struggles with health and relationships. Following her death, Locke's remains were cremated on November 9, 2018, at the Pierce Brothers Westwood Village Memorial Park and Mortuary, a location in Los Angeles known for its long history of serving the internment community and for being the final resting place of numerous Hollywood legends. The choice of cremation reflected a private and intimate approach to her final arrangements, consistent with how Locke had often valued privacy throughout her life. Despite her status as a public figure, after the cremation, her ashes were entrusted to her widower, Gordon Lenderson, who had been her devoted for over 5 decades. This act underscored the enduring bond between Locke and Anderson, highlighting the stability and depth of their relationship amid the turbulence that had characterized other aspects of her life. In addition to entrusting her remains to Anderson, Locke bequeathed him an estimated fortune of $20 million, demonstrating not only her considerable economic success, but also her unwavering dedication to supporting the men she loved. Throughout their marriage, Locke appeared to be a consistent source of emotional and financial support for Anderson, a fact that reflected her loyalty, generosity, and practical approach to ensuring the well-being of her closest family members. Her ability to amass such a fortune was a testament to her successful career in acting and directing, as well as her shrewd management of her finances over the years. Even in her later years, she seemed determined to provide for Anderson in a way that would honor the partnership they had shared for more than half a century, revealing a side of Locke that was deeply private, responsible, and steadfastly committed to those she loved. Ultimately, Sandra Locke's death, cremation, and the inheritance she left behind served not only as markers of the end of her life, but also as reflections of her enduring values, privacy, loyalty, and care for those closest to her, even in her final decisions. Locke's life story, marked by artistic achievement, personal struggle, and complex relationships, was punctuated by a generosity and thoughtfulness that left a lasting impression on her family, friends, and the world that had admired her work. For decades,